And good morning, BCB, Sir Rick, Drive Safe Dave, the producer. Thursday morning. Is it Thursday?
It is.
Thankful Thursday?
Yes, it is.
You know what? I came back just in time. A good little trip, but glad to be here on Thankful Thursday. 23 days of accident-free.
Correct.
You know what? It goes to show that it wasn't me holding down that part. You know, for a minute there, I said, you know what? I think I'm doing something in there, acting like I'm driving or whatever, but it's not me. It's you. And it's you, and it's you, and it's you. It's all y'all making the difference every single day to be a difference maker, right? To stay accident-free.
And while you were gone, the streak of Get Out and Look remained alive and continues to grow, and the success continues to happen each and every day. Welcome back to a 57.
Now, I love the 57, and you know what? I was thinking about that too. I think it was yesterday. It's just I saw the 57. I'm like, you know, it's been a long, almost 2 months since we've had a Get Out and Look.
Yeah.
And I love those are streaks that, you know, when you get 57, it makes you think, you know, it should never end, right? I mean, we're up the hump. We broke that record that we tied like 14 times at 38.
Yeah.
We're at 57,
Twice.
and we're just going to keep on going. We love that part, and now I'm ready for that 23. Again, 24 hours a day is all we can do.
That's correct.
I'm ready to get that into the 30s, the 40s, the 60s as well.
Yeah, you know, we're going to continue to talk about the success, but really we have to do today what has to be done. It is today. Today's the chance to make a difference, to chase the chance to do it right every single time. You can only do it today. You can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about yesterday. You have to do it today. If you didn't get out and look yesterday, make sure you get out and look today.
Do it all the time. Not all the time. If you're driving, don't get out and look. All right, so let me back up a second. Don't do it then.
Put it in park.
Yeah, put it in park first. There we go. Hey, the cicadas. Okay, Drive Safe.
Yeah,
listen.
you have
know
a couple
what?
of stories on the cicadas today.
And you called it, you know, months ago before it came out.
I did.
And here it is. It's shutting down our president. Shut the plane down.
Air Force One grounded.
They're talking about in the engines and all this. I'm thinking if they would have listened to Drive Safe Dave, once again, it shows the value of BCB Live.
Yeah, that I know about bugs, entomology. That's greatness, but you know what? I have driven through a swarm of heavy bug infestation, and your window is covered. And I mean big bugs. I'm not like a machine gun hitting your window because there's just so many of them, and then you can't see. Now you're hanging out the window after you drive through them. It's like running through a small cloud, and then all of a sudden, but yeah, these cicadas, they'll be gone in what, by the end of the month?
Yeah, end of the month they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone back. They bury themselves again. They just die.
They plant their eggs.
Oh.
They plant their eggs after they mate. Then they're done. They're like, oh, I'm out. So
is that what all that noise is? Is that mating noises?
That's mating noises.
Wow.
That's all that they're calling
All I
their
gotta say is wow. I mean, that noise is unbelievable.
It is. It's crazy. And you know, there's so many. I've seen some cool videos on YouTube and stuff like that where they're grabbing them and they're holding them and they're like using them like it looks like a razor or whatever, and then they're zzz, and so it's pretty cool. It's crazy, and it'll be done in a month or by the end of the month.
Well, we also had, but going back, we do have some serious weather conditions going on, non-cicada related, but out in the fires, right? The possible fires, the worst drought we've had now, they're saying, ever in California, and the worst fires last year in Colorado and California. But, not a lot of rain in the last couple of years. Last year was record-setting in fire, over 8 million acres. That's just hard to believe. Over 8 million acres burned, and they're expecting it to be worse this year.
Yeah, they're setting themselves. I mean, it's basically they're set up for disaster. It's not anything they've done, but all this rain that we've gotten over the last few months, over the last month and a half, a lot of that should have been dropped out there in the west, but it dropped out here in the east. And
certainly we're not going to have it, right? I mean, you would think not. I mean, boy, we've seen some rain here.
Yes. We have, but all that moisture that dumped here, not normally. Some of that should have dumped out west, and it didn't. So they're in their worst season ever, and I'm telling you, Bob's going to be doing fire watches all summer long. I can't even tell you Probably all the way up into November and December.
And the last thing they wouldn't want a big heavy rain like we got anyway. That's where the mudslides come from.
Yeah,
right?
after the fires.
Ugh. So yeah, just so hey, you know what? We're praying for the folks out there on the west side. We got to get some rain out there. Again, I didn't realize it was the worst. I mean, and anytime you hear the worst, that's pretty daggum bad.
Yeah, worst is worst.
And we're worse by a large amount too. I mean, if you take a look, like you said, last year was record-setting with the amount of fires out in the west. And if you take a look, all of that orange area is the drought that was being experienced last year. In comparison to the right side, which is this year, the staggering amount of area that is being affected by this drought, and a severe drought as well. Right now it's saying a total of 72% of the West is actually blanketed in one of those three categories, being severe drought, exceptional drought, and extreme drought.
Which is, and with the winds that they have out there, you're talking about a tinderbox. Anywhere and everywhere out there. So we just have to be genuinely careful. And it won't take long for the fires to spread once they start. They'll just grow out of control quickly. Even the ones that are now, I did look at Bob's map when we were doing it. Most of them are contained to national parks where there's a lot of forest right now. But it's going to be that year where we watch it a lot, and we will see fires on TV, and people will lose their homes this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, you bring the tinderbox up. So remember, swipe left for no fires. Swipe left.
It's not tinderbox, but...
Hey, also, did you see the holograms? And I'm digging the holograms that
You are a hologram guy.
appear in the offices. And you know what?
He's already trying to figure out how to do it for him. Rick's already trying to figure out how to do hologram down the hallway, aren't
I
you?
just want him, just to appear right there. And look at, you know what? Look at the guy right here. He's just like looking down on him. You know what? Here I am. I'm the hologram, 8-foot hologram looking down on everybody.
I thought the other image we saw was pretty cool though. The one where it was the exact same, like they were sitting in the chair next to the lady sitting in the chair. That's actually kind of cool because you actually have like genuine perspective. But that I'll tell you, you will do this as soon as you can.
I just want to be able to, just to be able to appear, out of nowhere, like. Hey,
there's Rick. Everybody get busy.
Hey, what's up?
Just appears over the shoulder. He's like, "So, drive safe. What you doing over there?"
I thought that was kind of cool, though. So yeah, I mean that they're trying, so they're talking about like everybody having like Zoom fever or what is it called?
Fatigue.
Zoom fatigue. They're done with Zoom and all that. I thought Zoom did a pretty good job. I thought it was kind of neat. I mean, it was another way to communicate with your people that when you weren't in the offices.
Yeah, and looking at all of the pictures of these holograms, it doesn't look that much different than a Zoom call. It just kind of looks more high definition. I mean, if you look at this, it's just a guy on a camera. He has more depth.
I feel like he has COVID, like he's behind.
Yeah, he's behind the glass. He's tapping on the glass, trying to get out.
Locked back. He's behind the wall.
Let me out. But yeah, and also they're charging a crazy amount for this.
I'm sure they are.
It's $2,500 to be displayed on that screen at a single location, and then $25,000 for multiple holograms that will appear simultaneously on a shared virtual stage. Or you can download Zoom and not have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, it'll come out. They'll have an app for that pretty soon, and it won't. You'll be able to do it from your phone. We'll have, what was it? We'll have hologram on our phone pretty soon. I mean, at some point, it's got to.
I want an R2-D2 to beam me out.
Yeah,
and let everybody know.
I can see it. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, how far,
you're my only hope.
How far were they into? Their vision going back to Star Wars to be able to do that. Now we're just talking about doing it. They were doing it back then.
They were doing it back then in the future.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker was in a desert, and he has that. Why can't we do it here?
Yeah, but they're in a galaxy far, far, far away, right?
Well, we're also far, far away from them, So maybe.
Well, not as far as it used to be now that we have. Drones going up there. And speaking of drones, Drive Safe Dave, we had a drone fuel up a Super Hornet, an F-18 Super Hornet.
That is kind of cool. That whole process, that whole thing, cool. That whole thing's pretty neat. Being able to do that, I get the drone flying it, and then we connect to it. The other way around would seem like a little bit different, right? There's actually the pilot actually is the guy that targets that. The drone just flies with a tail, but that's still neat. That whole, that's a dangerous operation. That whole fueling in the sky, that's jet fuel.
It seems dangerous, right?
Yeah, they got engines on, right? Don't they? They're obviously they have fire. They're running with engines, and they're spraying jet fuel all over the sky, and there's air. I mean, there's the potential. You talk about a tinderbox. They got it right there if you need it.
Dude, what's wrong? Your wife's out of town. You brought Tinder up now twice. You slow down. Settle your roll down. Drive safe, Dave. Settle your roll down on that.
Cryptic messages being talked about here on the show.
Yeah.
How much longer is it? We talk about our industry, the trucking industry. We want to try to get that extra 30 minutes, 45 extra hour of productivity. How much longer before there's a Love's drone going up ahead of our trucks, fueling up our trucks, right?
Locking in and you're going down the freeway and filling up.
Love's, Flying J. Think that's ever going to happen?
I do not believe that to be the case. We will probably move away from fossil fuels before then, right?
Yeah, that does seem like it might be the case. I think this is the exception, being that it's
there might be something out there. I don't know. I've never seen it, but you might have a on-the-go fueling. I don't know what it is.
Like a robot in a trucker hat that's like 10, 4.
Or it's never going to catch on, I don't think.
Yeah.
Just pull over.
Do they fill the coffee up?
I gotta go to the bathroom anyway.
Do they fill the coffee up when you go by? I don't care about the fuel. I got 300 gallons. I only have 20 ounces in my cup.
You guys have any Snickers in there?
Yeah, exactly. The hot dog on a little weenies rolling on the little deals.
I'll tell you, going to that food, I just read, so it's not in our news thing, but Campbell's Soup, their sales have taken a big plunge right now. It's all about the food as well. As we go back to work, you're not buying as much soup. So sales have plunged down.
Kids are back in school, going back. Well, they're coming out now, but they're going to go back. I think my daughter's Frito-Lay's going to take a hit when they go back to school. Don't you think?
But inflation's killing these folks as well right now. They talked about that. Profit, and I struggle with it. I don't know what this means. To them, I didn't dig into look at their financials, but their profits plunged from 34% to 31%. I'm saying, well, that still doesn't sound too daggone bad. I mean, I don't.
3? I don't know.
31% I don't know what that,
that's probably somebody
should be.
That's probably somebody's bonus that's mad. They didn't get their bonus.
But inflation I'm telling you, it is real. We're seeing it in pricing. We're seeing rates continue to, transportation costs going up. I haven't seen a tire guy come in here and say, hey, your rates are going down.
They came up.
Everything is going up.
Tires went up.
Yes.
Tires went up across the board. I will tell you that even our national accounts, they called and they came into the office and said, your tire prices have gone up. We've had to by 50 points. So I'm just telling you that it's crazy, and it's going to continue to do that. I don't see it curtailing until probably the end of the summer.
Yeah, I think at some point here, quick. I'm right with you. End of the summer, before, I think it happens before
school starts,
before the next year's peak season. I think it definitely at least levels out. But the news last night, we got back about 9 o'clock, 9:30, so I got a chance to watch the news. They talked about the Texas housing market, and they said this is it. This is the new price. I think we talked about that as well. This is the new norm. They talked about the housing market, all the prices going up, everybody moving here from California and all that. They're like, hey, you still have to buy today because it's going to be a better price than it is going to be in a year from now.
Wow.
So this is the new pricing. No.
Well, if you think about it,
so many ever going to leave.
so many people are moving to Dallas and Austin because there's so many more businesses opening up. I mean, we have Tesla opening up their factory in Austin. Google BCB Transport in Mansfield. We've got lots of things going on. Even just driving around Dallas, you see license plates more so from other states than you have in the past few years, it's really
And they need to get
strange.
re-registered. They have 30 days. They need to get registered. They need to get new plates. They need to get new licenses. They need to pay the state taxes.
They do. They do. But you think the apartment is going to start going up? I mean, we're seeing them being built all over the place. Is that going to be the new housing? Probably?
What else are you going to do? If you can't get the house or the house isn't ready, what else are you going to do?
I mean, first-time home buyer. Seriously. So I'll tell you, producer, my first home I ever bought it's either $26,000 or $30,000. Like $26,000, maybe $30,000 for a 1,600 square foot home.
You can't even.
What
You
is
can't
your
even.
first time?
You can't even get a new car for that much money.
No.
No. And you got it on and you can get it at a 30-year note.
It was at like my first, but it was also like a 9-point-something% interest rate.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
the interest rates back then.
Yep,
Back
it
when
sure
you could
was.
buy CDs. But yeah, your first time home buying experience isn't going to be that enjoyable, I don't think.
No, I
don't
think-
know how they get a first home.
No,
Isn't it
I think
prices?
I thought I had a great rate at 7.6. I thought I was walking around with my chest out. I had 7.6. But no, that was back. Oh my gosh, back in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, you're an old man. Hey, it is time for Buckle Up Bob.
This is Drive Safe Dave here. Going to do another safety show about get out and look. Ben Turner's hooking up and he's going to reposition the trailer into a new spot. He's going to demonstrate in the rain what it means to get out and look. Here we are outside getting wet, but you know what? It does not deter Ben of doing the right thing by getting out of the trailer and walking back and making sure it is safe back there before he backs up into the spot. He checks all the way around the trailer and then comes back and gets in the truck. Notice the lights are flashing. He blows the horn and starts the process of getting back into the spot. Here he is concluding it. Flasher's still going, making sure that he's visible and everybody knows what's going on. But you know what? Another reason this is successful is because he chose to get out and look the BCB way. Thanks, everybody, and have a great and safe day.
All right, hey, and welcome back, everybody. We will let it. Buckle Up Bob is in the studio. Finally, where have you been? I've been looking for you all morning.
You didn't look very hard. You got to open your eyes and move out of your desk, Dave. Because I watched you back in the parking lot this morning. So,
Oh, you did?
So I know I was here about the same time.
Oh yeah, I was running late this morning. I swear, Bob, I got hung up on that documentary. I could not get away from that documentary.
What documentary?
It was on the Japanese invasion of China in 1937 and the taking of Shanghai. Very interesting, talking about elements I did not know. Interesting enough, I did not know that the Chinese were their military equipment was all German. I did not know that. I was unaware that they used Mausers and it was very interesting and troop movements and the retreat of almost 80,000 people out of Shanghai of troops with only like 20-something, 30,000 Japanese coming in. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The numbers, they couldn't get their coalition working together because they had two factions. They had the communist faction and they had also well, anyway, very interesting stuff. Well, I digress. Go ahead, Bob. It's about safety.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's part of safety. No, I'm just. Same thing. When I watched that over the weekend, it was that I didn't realize that every one of them soldiers that was given the D-Day account said nothing struck fear in your heart as when you came across them German Tiger tanks. He says when them Tiger tanks, they didn't meet them
monsters.
till later.
They're
and
monsters.
He goes, we had nothing that could destroy them at the time.
No, the 88s that were on, they were 88 millimeter. They were huge weapons, which outgunned. Plus the front armor. Their only weakness was their tracks in the rear. But our Shermans were faster. But all we had was numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had numbers. We could put 100 tanks to any one of those Tigers on the ground. Anyway.
All right. Hey, it is Thankful Thursday. Drive safe, Dave. What are you thankful for?
I am thankful for every driver out there on the road today doing what he or she does best, and that's keeping everybody safe.
Absolutely. Great job, everybody. It is Thankful Thursday. That time that we make sure And again, I hear it all week where we're saying thanks to the drivers. But again, this is that one day that's kind of just specially set aside that we make sure everybody recognizes our fleet and our drivers, the men and women out there that just do a dangerous job, and they do it very well, as evident by 23 days, right? No preventable accidents, and 57, 3 more days, folks. Sunday, when Drive Safe Dave comes on, he will be able to announce 60 days.
I'm ready.
Great job. So we got to get through weekends. We always know the weekends is when we hold our breath, because it seems to be on the backing anyway at truck stops and whatnot. That's kind of where we kind of see it on the weekends.
We
let
can't
our
say
guard
that
down.
over the last 2 months, though.
That's
Bob.
true.
We can't say that. And in fact, I'm going to go out on a limb. The last 2 record breakers were not at the truck stops.
They were not.
So we are doing a much better job at the
Yes.
truck stops.
Yes, we
so
are.
So continue that effort, continue that streak. But I am with you 100%. Let's be focused today and make it happen.
Yes. And we've been talking all week about Safe Driving Week, right? It's coming up, July, about a month from now. What's today, the 10th? So July 11th through the 17th, they are going to be focused.
Is it, what day is it through?
July 11th through the 17th. That's Sunday to Saturday. So, again,
That's not too far away.
It's not 1 month, Dave. 1 month from tomorrow.
We got to be ready.
We are ready.
Are we
Look
ready?
at our street. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
We gotta
kick
be
butt.
ready.
And we went over speed, tailgating, improper lane changes. 3 things we fight every week. We talk about every week, and as the videos attest, we've gotten amazingly better. I mean, they're almost like the hard brakes at the traffic lights now. We see the occasional one versus 3 or 4 or 5 a day, and that's just a huge testament and a measuring stick to let you all know you are making a difference out there. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but you really are making a huge difference. And so the 4th one we want to add that they're going to talk about, and tomorrow I'll have just a couple of the fringe ones, but they are also going to focus on stoplights, stop signs, right? We've been talking about that. Probably, what do you think our biggest, the category is failure to obey traffic control devices. What do you think the biggest thing we disobey?
Speed limits.
Probably pretty close. Yeah, I would say that. But recently in the videos, what we've seen a lot is we don't obey the yield sign, right? We take the yield as only if there's no traffic, or if there's traffic involved, right? I think we have another one today, but we had one earlier in the week. So hey, just kind of obey them signs. Pause. Make sure you're not in a hurry, because again, we know these are going to be, the yield signs are usually at 2 places, which was all of our hard brakes. For the most, 98% of our hard brakes when we started were at intersections, traffic lights, and the ramps, the merge and exit ramps, and that's where you're going to find most of your yield signs. Excuse me. And so the statistic we get to add, we've added a statistic, and this one's kind of staggering as well. 6,247 pedestrians were killed in traffic accidents last year. So even if you're not in a car, just walking down the street, you've got to be alert and aware. We know for a fact this hit us personally here at home a few years back with one of our driver managers. So again, pedestrians, you got to look out for them out there. And again, another reason to slow down. We see better videos. That was one of our speeding. One of our biggest speeding is them 40 mile, 35, 45 through these residential areas or these business parks. And you got all these side streets, but there's people walking on there, and we're even seeing better there. I checked a couple that we flashed by the speed limit sign, and we were at or under the speed limit. So great job, everybody. But 6,247 killed last year. This was up 27% over the last 5 years. Wow. And represented a 30-year high. So not since the 80s, right, was more pedestrians killed. So, we just, one of those reminders that we got to watch out for them. We do have some weather. So what we want to do, the current's going to be right here in Mississippi, folks. Huge storm. And you can kind of see there's some up there, and we'll get to that. But mostly right here is going to be the hot spot for us right now. And a lot of lightning. But you can see right here, here's Grenada, just north of Jackson and Starkville, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa here. Maybe the tide will get washed out, right? That'll make Sir Rick happy. But let's put this in motion. There's a lot of lightning on the back end of this. You can see all the lightning's coming out here. So, and you can see it starts to get stronger in some areas. So, again, if you're in this area, watch it, pull over, write it out. It looks like it's moving pretty quickly, as you can see through the map. And the forecast for today is, again, same areas. That's where this flooding is. It's this feast or famine, right? Out here is getting zero rain and need it so bad, and the same areas are just getting hit over and over again here in the southeast and the eastern half from the Mississippi East. Every day we say Mississippi East. So the forecast for 1 p.m., you can see pretty much the entire eastern third. Again, same thing at 6 p.m. is a chance. And these don't get better overnight when they usually calm down. That's not going to be the case. You see out here on the coast, North Carolina, Virginia Beach area in Virginia. And then when we come on the air tomorrow again, we're going to have some rain right there in that Mississippi, Alabama area again. And a strong one's going to develop up here. And they're expecting this to bow. So we're going to probably have some strong storms going through the Dakotas, Nebraska, coming out. I think it was even in Montana and that. Okay. It's going to kind of come out of the Canadian. And I can't believe what I'm seeing there, Drive Safe. We even still have snow left, folks, just a little bit in the upper elevations. They're expected as well. The winds are back. Not what they want to see out here in the west. But again, these are going to kick up around 11 to noon. So you can kind of see they're in that 30s, upper 20s, but then around noon and 1 o'clock, you can see the dark purple. The area gets bigger. So again, we're going to have a huge geofence there. And you see it doesn't get better at 3 p.m. It gets worse and bigger in the area. And it does not calm down a whole lot at midnight. It shrinks in area size, but actually intensifies here in upper Wyoming. You're going to see a 60 there probably. Except it didn't do it. Come on, open up for me. It won't do it. So, currently, we got 27, some 40-mile gusts already at 7 o'clock in the morning up in northern, and right up along that Canadian border. So, I expect this to be really bad today, folks, on the wind. So, if you're coming anywhere up there in the northwest, please, maybe even pull over. Let's call in and let's talk about it. We do have some fire updates that I gave you, or that I sent in the email, but the Telegraph fire actually grew and stayed the same containment. So, again, so that was 6.8. Oh, that's right. We got to refresh it, don't we, producer? My bad. Can you do it for me, Drive Safe?
I'll be happy to, right there.
So we'll refresh that real quick. And just realize, because this is now over 80,000 acres. There you go, 85,000 acres. And still only 18% contained. So it grew. Let's zoom in there a little bit, I think, too. So we can see the area. Here we go. So you can see it's kind of even branched back to the west, but this was back here yesterday. So now it's getting really close to Globe, Arizona. And then the mescal fire didn't really grow, but it stayed the same, it says. But again, it was updated yesterday at 4:30 p.m. So we might get a little different one today. And then we had the one that we don't really go to in the area, but again, it still didn't have a whole lot of change to it as well. So we've got to watch this. 60, as we know, is not a route for us, but 77, if anybody's coming north or south, it is not allowed. And this should be 70 right here, correct? Yes. So again, avoid 70, 77, and of course you should be off of 60 until you get to here, right?
Yes.
So above Florence. So again, just, man, be mindful of that. Let's see, up here by Flagstaff. It's a small one, but it's 0% contained. So with their dryness and the winds, we'll keep an eye on that one to see if it grows.
North of the canyon.
North of the canyon, Grand Canyon?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it? How come the Grand Canyon's up there? You
I
sure?
meant south of. I'm
Oh, okay.
north of Flagstaff. I'm
North
sorry.
of Flagstaff.
Sorry, my bad. I meant north of Flagstaff. I'm
All right.
speaking out.
No, you're good,
Out of turn.
buddy.
I'm sorry.
So again, we got some red warning flags. They took, believe it or not, they took Nevada and the parts of California that yesterday that was red in the fire danger. So now it's just the state of Utah, more of the western half of Denver, and then more of New Mexico, and more in Arizona has grown in the pink. Still up there in Montana as well. So some of the big ones, let's see. That's 60% contained, so not too bad. Here's a big emblem. So, okay, that one's done because there's no update since May. So, again, just mindful. Remember, don't ever drive in smoke, right? If we see smoke, folks, and that's anywhere, turn around and find a safe place and call in and let's talk about it.
Right.
Let us do some really good work because, again, you've seen all them red dots, and many of them are old. So I can't go through and click all them. So if you hear anything on the news of a fire that's getting out of control, hey, let me know so I can put it to the list and look for that one to give you updates on. But right now, we don't expect any service hits there right now because we don't really travel them highways and shouldn't really be on them. So, but if somebody's thinking about a shortcut somewhere, 77 is off limits there, and we just don't do it.
Good job.
Yeah, the drivers have made it really hard for me to find any videos to really critique. There's just nothing there. We had a little bit of a stop sign issue, but at the end of the day, we were able to stop.
Yep.
But again, just some
you want to
really
stop behind the stop sign.
yeah, just a little bit of tweaking in our thought process there. And again, gotta get DM to find out if maybe it was distracted a little bit. I don't know, but you just gotta stay focused every single second out there. Producer, we have someone.
Yeah, we got Lonnie Payne. How are you doing this
Mr.
morning? What do you
Lonnie.
got for us, sir?
What's going on, Lonnie?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good.
I just want to tell you, Bob, I'm on Interstate 70 in Utah, and from Salina to Green River, no evidence of fire or anything, but the wind was really gusting hard at Wild Horse Canyon this morning. Blew over 2 different sets of doubles. So, if you got anybody going that way, just once I got on the other side of Green River, though, it calmed down pretty nice, and it's clear blue skies. So,
Okay.
when coming through the canyons, you gotta really watch the gusting winds whipping through those canyons hard.
Is that northwest of Salt Lake City?
No, south. It'd be south. South. It's before you get to Salt Lake.
Yeah, we got some 50-mile-an-hour gusts reported through that area going from in the northern part of Denver into Salt Lake City. Just south of there is some 30. Yeah, Lonnie, great point. When we zoom in, there is a lot of wind, folks. If you've got the windy.com app that we've suggested you slow it down.
Here's Green River.
Okay.
And here's Richfield. He's talking about going through the canyons that way on
Coming
70.
through here.
Coming through 70. You
Yes.
see that big?
35-mile-an-hour gusts reported. Let's zoom in a little bit
one-
closer on that and find out. Yeah, Lonnie,
One set
that whole
was
area.
UPS, and one set was SIA, and the other was UPS, and the SIA, it laid both their pups over, and then the UPS, it popped his back pup over, so I don't know if it might have been empty or what.
Yeah, it's probably what they were, pulling the empties back there. And
Thank you, Lonnie. I'm going to get a geofence up right away. Are you loaded pretty heavy, Lonnie?
I'm bobtail.
Okay.
But like I said, on the other side of Green River now, it's good. The wind's coming actually from behind us, hitting us right in the back, so
Yep.
no problem at all.
Yep. You know, that's what I love about this app, folks. This is the real time. When you hit on there, you hit the little sun in the cloud, that's the forecast. But when you hit this, no matter what time you set that bar, this gives you the real time, this wind right here. These are current winds. And then, again, you get the a generalization, but when you zoom in, you even get more of these yellows. And so, again, these are actual gusts that have been reported. I lost where, okay, so Lonnie just came through here, and you can see there's little pockets, which means the potential's there even in the other areas that aren't. You'd have to zoom in real quick to get it. But Richfield, they've experienced some 27-mile-an-hour gusts, it looks like. But we've got 50-mile-an-hour gusts in the area. So if you are light or empty, you really need to think about pulling over in a safe place. Let your DM know that it's just too dangerous to drive. Here is western Colorado, 35-mile-an-hour gusts already. And I think I found a 50 up here, wasn't it? 36, 37. There's the 36. Where was it? Back here. There's the 50. So right there in that Wyoming, Utah border, you've got a 50-mile-an-hour gust already. So these are can pop up out of anywhere, right? Drive safe.
Yep.
You remember a couple years ago we had a microburst. We were they were forecasting 60-mile-an-hour gusts, and they had a microburst of about 105 in Oklahoma. So again, that's the thing you got to worry about when the conditions are ripe. You got to think about. Pay attention to your trailer, and if you feel anything that's unsafe, you got to slow it either way down or get off the road. And our suggestion is once it gets above 45 to 50-mile-an-hour gusts that you have experienced, get off the road. We really shouldn't be driving no matter how heavy we are because it's just too dangerous.
You know, a lot of the times you come around these canyons. You know, Lonnie's running up 70, and you run out there, and that is just canyon area. And you're gonna, as you come around corners and you come out from behind wall, you're gonna hit these strong winds, and they're gonna hit you sideways. And you just got to be mindful. Also on bridges and stuff like that, you got to be really careful of these side gusts.
Yes. Who we got, producer?
Yeah, we got Justin Hayes. What do you got for us today, sir?
Morning, Justin.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Good.
So I sent in a deal. Heather put it online. There's a fatality accident down here on 10. Looked like a drunk driver went off the road to hit a big old pole. There's 5 or 6 cops, ambulance, coroner, all out there. Then this morning, I had another drunk driver come by me. I was actually on the phone with Jerry, and the cops got him. Somebody called in on him, got him off the highway. Then we talk about intersections. I got off there at the Triple T in the Pilot, and I'm sitting at the red light. My red light turned green. I looked left and looked right before I took off, and here come a hot shot driver. He ran that red light bigger than snot just to turn left to get onto the highway. I mean, if I would have took off without looking, I'd have nailed him.
Were you going straight?
No, I was going to turn left to go to the truck stop, and he blew the red light right in front of me.
Tucson.
I waited, you know what I mean, when my light turned green and looked left and right. And thank God I did, because he just
Where
ran
was that?
out
By
in front of me.
Tucson?
Yeah, they're in Tucson at that Triple T truck stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just south of
So
that
I recorded
wildfire.
it. I recorded it. I don't know if my camera's working or not. I recorded that one. And then yesterday we were in Van Horn, and we saw, you know, when them dirt devils or dust devils, whatever they call them.
Oh, yeah.
This thing was the size of McDonald's. Like, me and Jeanette were freaking out. It was right there by the side of the highway, and it was in McDonald's back parking lot. And this thing was massive.
Mm.
I recorded that too. I thought you'd show that this morning. But
Well, yeah, I didn't see it
Gotta
again.
see
Hey, I got a question for you and the drivers while you're on the air, because I was taught this years ago, and I just don't know if it still holds up. Because, like I said, it's most of you. I got my license before many of you were born. So
No.
I said before many.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't say you drive safe, Dave.
Oh, here
I
you
said
go.
many. I know I got mine before the producer was born.
That's correct.
But we was always taught, especially at intersections, there's 3 looks. You look left, you look right, and you look left again. Is that still the... Because, you know, and I always wondered why not right again and why left's the last one. And then, you know, as I got older, I was like, well, you're on the left. So if you're going to be killed and hit T-boned right, you're going to get hit from the left is going to be the most dangerous. The right still is dangerous, but it's going to hit the passenger side of your vehicle. And I was just wondering why left, because, you know, especially he's going to turn left, which means he's going to have to watch the right as well. But I was always taught it's left, right, and then left again before you move. Is that still, drivers, is that still what the safe thing is to do?
that's what I do. And that intersection there at the Triple T, kind of, it's almost like a blind left turn. You really have to lean forward
Ah.
to look left. But that's what I do, left, right, left.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and you know, in a big truck, and Justin, you'll know, in a big truck, it's not just left, right, left. You got to see around your mirrors because they offer up a blind spot on those West Coast mirrors on both sides at an intersection. You got to make sure that you whatever's behind them, that you get a clear picture. And sometimes you have to move in your chair forward and back because you want to look around those, because you want to look left and you want to look around, you want to look right, and you want to look around, and before you pull out. You do want to look left again because you want to make sure that the time that's passed, something new hasn't come about.
Something new hasn't come up. Yeah, and I appreciate
we've all
that.
done it, but I tell you what, if you don't look forward, lean forward, if you lose a car in that mirror and you see him that split second right as you were hitting the gas pedal, boy, nothing will give you a heart attack faster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely right. And I love that. So I appreciate that feedback. Anybody else on there, producer?
We got Gerald Baker. What do you got for us today, sir?
Mr. Baker, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, that left, right, left thing, not so much because you're sitting on the left. It's because you look to the left, you look to the right, and you look back to the left because the traffic coming from your left, you're going to move into their lane first. And then you're going to move into the lane of the traffic coming from the right.
That's true. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that.
That's the reason why you look left, right, left.
Great point. Anybody else, Mr. Producer?
That's all I got.
All right. Hey, everybody. Again, Thankful Thursday. I sent this all to your email. I wouldn't let me copy it so we could play it. I should have probably sent to the producer to see if he could play it. But just click on that link, and it's not a big thing. It just says thank you in a little different way that we just wanted to be able to I try to be creative instead of just typing words. So I found a link and I thought, oh, this is kind of neat. So just a different way to say thank you to each and every one of you for a great job. I mean, we are in the 100 deadliest days, and we have a great momentum, momentum heading into there. And so and we see these videos are so much better. We just, it is the mirror image of the heartbreak videos at the traffic lights.
Absolutely.
We've seen 3 and 4 a day for a month or two, and then they almost become non-existent, and that's what we're seeing with our tailgating. Phenomenal job, everybody. We got the Safe Driving Week coming up, and they are going to be focused on everything that you've already corrected. Once again, you all are leading the way and not reacting to the rules and inspections and things of that nature. God bless each and every one of you. And with that, it's time for...
Good morning. It is Thankful Thursday, and wanted to remind everyone about the Lowdown with Shelly Brown. It will be airing today at 10 a.m. So please tune in. If you can't, for whatever reason at that time, it will be on Spotify later and then also on YouTube. So please check us out. And today there is one birthday, and it is for Jeff Gardner. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Everyone, please continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, use that antibacterial, stay healthy, stay safe. Have a good one.
Hey, everybody, this is Drive Safe Dave here, and I am here with Robert
Harvey.
Truck RT 1835, right?
Right.
You know what, Robert? In all honesty, you and I have not had a lot of interaction with one another here at BCB,
Not since
have you?
orientation.
Not since we met in orientation, right?
That's
and
it.
then since then, you and I have had very little communication together. Because that just tells me one of two things. Number one, your truck's been running fine.
Yeah.
And if your truck's been running fine, I probably hadn't heard from you.
Well, you haven't heard from me.
So you were over there getting your truck inspected just a few minutes ago, were you not?
Getting it inspected, federal inspection.
Getting your
DOT.
your DOT inspection done on your truck, and we just were talking about that on the show. So there's a couple things that are reason I wanted to talk to you today. Number one, do you listen to the show very often?
Yeah. Yep. Here lately, I've been listening just about every day.
Have you listened every day? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you know that on Thursdays we do a small interview with the driver to get to know the driver a little bit better.
Right.
And guess who is our special guest today?
I'll be darned.
And you had no idea you were coming. We didn't talk. I surprised you. I saw you, and you know what? I really what I wanted to do is I wanted to get to know you a little bit more because I feel like that we don't know. Now, you haven't been here very long.
No, I think I came in March, wasn't it?
Yeah, you came in March.
Yeah.
So you've been here since March, April, May. Here it is, June. You've had a few months to jump in, jump on, and let me tell you, you're sporting the BCB hat pretty good. I mean, you got the T-shirt on too.
Yeah, I got that over at that shop. Man.
No, you got Greasy at the shop. You know what? I'll tell you, and I'm gonna be every time. You can ask Brian. You can ask anybody. Every time I worked around the truck, I worked on the truck. I got dirty. Didn't matter. My wife hated me in the respect that I had fifth wheel grease on every article of clothing that I owned. I don't know why. I just felt like you had. If I got a new piece, I'd have to just go out and rub on the fifth wheel or get up on the kingpin or something.
Well, you know, my wife don't allow me to wear white. I don't have nothing white. You know what I mean?
Because it won't stay white, will it?
That's what I'm saying. She says she can't get the grease out of it, you know.
So tell me a little bit about yourself personally. Where are you from?
Well, I live in Cahokia, Illinois, but I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, originally. And you made it all the way to Illinois.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Jackson, Mississippi?
Till I was 14, then we moved to Detroit.
Uh-huh.
And I worked in General Motors about 18 months.
How'd that work for you? Didn't like that?
I didn't like it. And I came out and started driving a truck in 1967.
You started driving a truck in 1967.
June 15, 1967.
That's when you started driving a truck?
Yes, sir.
What kind of truck did you drive in 1967?
I drove a 10-wheel reefer box. It wasn't like the reefer the other day, you know, he had the ice pack on me, you know.
Yeah. I meant like, what truck did you drive?
Oh, GMC.
Oh, GMC?
Yeah.
13 speed?
No, it was a 15 speed.
15 speed.
Yeah. It wasn't nothing like the trucks today. I see drivers complain about they don't want to go to California because of Jake brake and all that. Man, I remember we ain't had nothing like that. They ain't had no air ride, you know what I mean?
No, bumpy, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember the first brakes the truck I drove had was hydraulic with air assist. You know? And power steering was a thing of the future.
It was the thing of the future.
You had that Armstrong steering.
No.
You know what I mean? You could always tell a truck driver back then because they had Popeye shape off. Let me stop. Yeah.
And who did you work for back then when you drove?
A guy named Preston Brown.
And where did you just ran wherever they sent you, right? You didn't.
Well, I started off doing how first I got with him. I was working at General Motors, and I used to go to him on the weekend and help him grease and service his trucks.
Oh yeah.
So he messed around there one day, and the driver didn't show up. And he asked me, could I drive a truck? I told him, yeah. So he showed me the shift pattern and everything and put me in it. See, he had trucks coming from California with produce, and he had to deliver it to the stores because they didn't have.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like
Right, I got you.
So that was my job. So I did that about 6 months. And then one day he had me say, can you drive a tractor trailer? I said, yeah. You know? So he put me in the tractor trailer with this old man. He told me, he said, I'm going to send you to California with the old man, and if you drive all right, I'll get your truck. You know what I mean? I said, okay. So me and the old man went to California.
How old were you then?
I was 19 years old.
Wow.
You know, and the old man, I thought we were going to split the team, you know, split it out there. He never moved from the sleeper to that seat. You know what I mean? And we got back.
If I had a 19-year-old, you'd just
got
he'd
back.
be out there driving
He
too.
said, yeah, he can drive. And then the man got me my truck, you know, truck and trailer. And I started running to California and back.
Wow.
You know?
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah. Well,
And then let's see. So you did that for a long time, and then when you got so you basically, what all have you from '67 to now? There's probably all kinds of trucks you drove, right?
Yeah, I pulled a tanker, flatbed. I don't like that. You know,
that's hard work.
No, I had a bad experience with the flatbed. The first time I pulled a load, you know what I mean? I left Louisiana and went to Montana. And got up there on the truck and trying to take the top off.
Oh.
And the wind got the top, and I didn't have sense enough to turn it loose. It took me with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I hit that ground, I got all skinned up. And I made a vow then I'll never drive another one.
Oh, yeah.
And so But my most thing been reefer, dry boxes, you know.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Been pretty much everywhere.
I've been all 48 states, many times.
Many times.
Well, I'm retired twice already.
Just couldn't take it. Just couldn't take
Couldn't
it.
do it.
I couldn't do it.
And I was getting ready to retire again until y'all called me.
There you go.
You told me about the dedicated thing. And then that was, you know, because me and my wife, she was saying all these years, you never been home for a holiday, you know. You never been home for no special days at all.
It's old
and
school
barely
stuff,
see
man.
you once every now and then on a weekend, you know. And so she told me to just give it up, you know. And so y'all called me, and that did it. She listened to me when I was talking to Herman
Herman?
on the phone, you know, I was on the speakerphone, and she said, well, you can go to work there. You can go to work there. You know? I said, okay, baby. So I did all the paperwork and everything. And then another job called me one day, and they was telling me what all I have. She got in my face, told me, said, it don't matter. It don't matter if they're getting you $10 a mile. You're not going, you're going to Texas. I said, okay, baby. You know? So she's happy with it. I'm happy with it because I get home, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a quick question. How long have you been married?
To her, 32 years.
Just 32 years, huh?
Yeah. No, I was married before then, but I've been married all my life, it look like. You know what I mean? You know, me and my first wife, we divorced, and me and her hooked up, and I've been with her ever since.
32 years. That's a good number.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good number.
I can't lie to her.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
She don't
I mean, let me just tell you, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you shouldn't, because you'll get in trouble. Because every time, and I'm gonna be honest, I've said maybe, but I've not quite told the truth. But sometimes I get away with it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you. So let's just be.
You might think you got away with it.
No. If she asks me how she looks in something, she looks great. Right, even though she might not look, you know, perfect, she's looking perfect to me. That's what I tell her all the time.
Well, that's
you
what
look
count.
perfect to me.
That's what counts.
You look perfect to me, and that ain't no lie. But she says, "How do you?" Anyway, I'm not. I digress. So, do you have any children?
I got 8.
You have 8
Yep.
children.
Yes.
Okay.
I got 4 boys by my first wife. I got 4 girls by my second wife.
Wow. Can you name them all?
Yeah. Okay, my oldest son name is Robert. The next one under him is Corey. The next one under him is Raheem. And the baby boy is Kassid. My daughters are Lene, Keita, Marquita, Dominique, and I call her Queen all the time. Kariba. That's the baby.
That's the baby,
Yeah.
Kariba, Queen.
Yeah. I always call her Queen, you know.
Queen. And what age do they range from? How old's your oldest? Do you have any idea how old your oldest boy is?
Yeah, he's 52.
And your youngest?
41, 42, something like that.
Oh, so they're all within about a 10-year range, right?
Yeah.
All within about 10-year range. So you must have grandchildren, right?
Yeah, they good. I got plenty of grandchildren.
Do you really?
Ooh, Lord, I got 6 live right around me.
Oh, do you ever see them?
Do I ever see them? Man, they just come spend the night when I come home, you know what I mean?
Do they drive you crazy at all, ever?
All the time. And they from 20 to 4. And 20-year-old, he always need me to take him somewhere or do this or do that.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
And the 4-year-old, too, probably.
Oh, no, she just take all the attention.
Oh, yeah.
When she come, I can't do nothing else, you know. She comes.
What'd she call you?
Pawpaw.
Pawpaw?
That's what all of them call me.
They all call you Pawpaw?
Yep. Yep.
And you get to spend more time with them now than you ever have.
I sure do. And I'm kind of enjoying it too, you know what I mean?
I get it. No, I understand it.
I realize a lot of stuff I miss from, you know, my kids, you know what I mean?
Get it.
So I ain't do a lot of being home with my daughters, but them grandkids, hey, they see me every week through the week.
Do they?
And definitely on the weekend, you know what I mean? So, And it just make my whole family seem more happier now, you know?
Yeah, you be around. It makes you probably, because you're probably a little bit more happier too.
Yep, I am, because I ain't fussing, you know. I go home, it's what it is, you know, I don't fuss no more.
So you've been here a little bit. What do you like to do? Do you just like to hang out with the grandkids or at home? Do you like, is there anything you like to do outside the truck that nobody, you like to cook? What do you like to do outside?
Well, I cook sometimes, but most time I just spend my time with grandkids, take them places, you know.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, you know, we go on little trips all the time.
You go.
Yeah.
When you say little trips, what does that mean?
Well, we might go down to Mississippi, my home. Might go up to Michigan, my sisters.
Oh, okay.
You know, my wife.
Go see family.
Yeah, we do that all the time. You know what I mean? Or either all the family come to us and we cook out. You know. And I'm kind of enjoying that. Ain't nothing else I want to do, you know?
Hey, guys, it doesn't sound like you have much more time to do much else.
It all be consumed. They have it planned out for me when I hit the door. You know? Papa, we going somewhere.
Papa, we going somewhere.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, so you've been here for a few months. You've been listening to the show. What do you get from the show that we're on, that we're trying to promote here? And man, I'm just asking.
I get a lot from the show because I listen to it. It refreshes things that I've been taught before.
Uh-huh.
And then some things in that safety business, it explains that other companies didn't explain to you, you know what I mean? See, so it's real beneficial, you know what I mean? It's real beneficial because sometimes it make me kind of check myself, you know what I mean?
No, I get it. No, I get checked around here all the time.
You know, so I really enjoy it, you know. I be thinking I know for sure, but then you come along and say something, hey, I wasn't quite right. Hey, I better get it back this way, you know what I mean? But,
well, you know, it's kind of cool that I got to drag you in here and to say hi and stuff because, you know, we've been interviewing a lot of people that have been here for some time, and you know, I think it's important that we see everybody. You know, we have new, we have old, and I don't think I've met anybody here that's been driving longer than 67. Have we interviewed anybody that's been doing this longer than 1967?
Well, I might be the oldest thing on your roster, right?
I don't know, but that's kind of cool and fun, and I, you know, I'm honored that you're here. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate, and I hope that we can continue to balance a little bit of work and a lot of home time that makes it right for you, that you can continue to be happier.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. You know what I mean?
And I hope we continue for you to love it here.
Yeah.
If you had a chance, you've been here for a short period of time, if you had a chance to change something about the company or make it a little bit different, you haven't been here a lot, but is there anything you would add or change or do that would be?
Only thing I would change is I would like to have an automatic truck. That's the only thing.
You know what? It's coming.
I know it. I'm being patient with
I will. Unfortunately, you heard today that Volvo went back on strike. So,
again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
So they went back on strike, and we've got to wait until they come to another agreement. So as soon as they do that, but I'm telling you, there won't be a truck in the fleet that we drive that won't be an automatic. That's not either a lease purchase or an owner operator's truck.
Well, I was told that.
So it's coming. So it's coming. So I hope just bear with us a little bit longer.
I'm gonna tell you just like I told them. I will drive this stick shift for you. You know, but now you made me a promise that I will have an automatic. So
you will.
I'm gonna drive on that promise.
You got it, and it's coming, and I guarantee you, it's coming.
And so far, y'all word is kind of like gold, cause everything y'all promised me or said, it came to pass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's coming.
And that's very important with a company, you know what I mean? That communication.
Yeah.
You know, see, companies I work for, they tell you one thing to get you there.
Right.
Then when you get there, it's a whole different story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but so far, it's been just what y'all said, you know what I mean? And I appreciate that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was about to give it up, man. Because, you know, these companies now and got a little shady, you know what I mean? No, they'll promise you one thing. Then when you get behind the wheel, 2 weeks or a month out of the way, you know, they ain't telling you, well, we don't really do that. We just gone, you know. And,
we don't really do that.
Yeah, you know. I had a company out of Ohio I was working for. Now, we run across 70 all the time, you know, going to the West Coast.
Uh-huh.
All right, I got on over there, and I stayed with him a year and a half, but I got home 3 times out of a year and a half.
Oh, my God.
But I passed my house every week. You know what I mean? And so I just told him, I said, look, man, I just can't keep, well, we hauling meat, so you couldn't stop with a load.
No, I get it. No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So I told him, I said, man, I'm tired of passing my house and can't go home, you know. He said, well, that's not one of our routes for home. You know, I said, well, we run past it all the time. I said, well, I was told in recruiting that I wouldn't have no problem getting home because that was our traffic lane. Yeah, but it's not a good area for you going home because you can't take the load home, you know. I said, okay, no problem, you know. So I stayed with him a year and a half and put up with it, you know. But one day it just really hit me, boy. Wife was fussing about it. When you gonna bring your butt home?
Well, she gets to see enough of you now, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff for you. Good stuff for your family. And you know what? Good stuff for us here at BCB. And I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate what you do. And I am so thankful that you're here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for getting it. If you get a chance, if you see RT 1835 running around, make sure you jump out, bump elbows with Harvey, right? Maybe bump, pop fists, bump elbows, do whatever. Say hi, and make sure that you let him know that we're glad he's here. Hey, everybody, I want to say a quick prayer before we get out of here. You don't mind if I say prayer, do you?
Go ahead.
Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today on this most special days to say thank you for all that we have. Thank you for all that you have given us, and thank you for all the blessings that you bestow upon us each day. We ask that we have the ability to go out and do your will upon the world as you see fit. Father, thank you for our drivers, and be thankful for them on this most special of days as we celebrate Thankful Thursday. Father, we ask all these things in your name. Amen. Hey, everybody, have a great and special day. We'll see you later, and see you this afternoon at 2:30.